Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Danganronpa 2. And we are finally doing this damn trial. Oh my god.
Yep, after a very long time, we're gonna do this. Let's check our skills, make sure everything's hooked up. We have Find Sword. Mood Maker. Delusion, the most broken skill in the game. Cheat code and Infinity Unlimited Flame. Let's see. So cheat code, the time limit doesn't decrease even if you shoot a statement with the silencer. Increases the power of the silencer. Interesting that we can't combine the two of those. Anyway, upshift, we definitely want increased aiming speed, extraordinary focus, attentive influence. All right. Let's do this. Class trial. All rise.
Oh.
Now then,
wait, we're doing nothing but rising. We're all standing.
Of the class trial. During the
class
trial, you will present. If you vote correctly, I'll punish everyone beside. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go. Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
That actually sounds kind of delicious.
Because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is.
And I'll kill him myself.
Not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident? We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
Nah.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower for Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning?
What else are we gonna do?
We were together since last night!
Yep, exactly right. No, not really. I wish.
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
That was a good euphemism, actually. I'm not some woman with flexible legs. That's pretty good.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
You, on the other hand, are a gymnast, so you should have legs that flexible.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's
no.
definitely someone
No.
from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
You're the cruelest one here!
Now. Enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, wow. Nice backhanded insult there.
Jesus.
Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's that giant hammer you're thinking of.
Cue
think
Donkey
that hammer
Kong
is
music.
A ruse.
Yeah, cue Donkey Kong music.
The only thing at the okay. Whee! The new-looking hammer.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer. The killer used that
Objection.
hammer
Yeah.
and beat the crap out of him.
No, that's wrong.
You imbecile!
You
No,
fool!
I
You're
can't
falling
accept
right
that
into my
hammer
trap.
was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body. Just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Reverse psychology, I see.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
You did not just call him that.
She's trying to look
Baby
for a new
gangster?
boyfriend already.
Me?
Yeah, you're about to get murdered for the the third time this game? Monokuma tried to kill you twice.
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah,
you were.
okay.
I thought maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
Uh-huh.
Seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it
Physics
doesn't
was
have
the
oil
weapon.
on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
We have to turn the case around. Wait. We have to turn our thinking around.
The actual weapon has oil on it, but if it's something at the crime scene that had oil on it,
Nekomaru's body!
no kidding! Broken pillar.
I see.
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon. Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar.
Okay, Akane's the murderer. She's the only one strong enough to have beaten him with the pillar. I mean, it all fits, guys. She was constantly fighting Coach Nekomaru for supremacy. She finally got him. She won.
Nobody could
No.
withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's
Monokuma.
robot body.
Oh.
With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid. He ain't the type to commit suicide.
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
It does bother me a little. And what the hell's going on? The word suicide. Here we go. We know. No, that shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru will commit suicide.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Dropping somebody on
For
it.
reals?
Ah.
Yes, for reals.
That.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right.
No.
It's up to you, Sonia. Prove
No, your
that
gut's only
pillar was
right
the
when it comes to
murder
food.
weapon.
Ooh.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
take that. Wire. Good night button. Oil.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
No.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
What?
There.
So we have Wire. He's tied around his body and his left leg were tied with a metal wire. It was also, the tip of it was tied to a loop. Good night button. The back of it, so when you push the button on the back of his neck, he goes into sleep mode. Oil on the floor. Oil was flowing out of his body. The majority of it came from his fatal head wound. Tipped over pillar. One of the pillars on the side of the door was tipped over. The damaged area of the pillar was also stained. It was so heavy that even 2 people couldn't budge it. And last one, pillar fragments. A lot of pieces of stone were scattered underneath Nekomaru's body.
Okay, let's do that.
And not on top.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is...
What about tipping the pillar over?
Ah, damn it.
They aimed right for his head
Oh,
and
what?
bullseye.
Even I could, considering the probably
What was that? Like, okay.
I'm getting
you missed.
excited.
I know, but like the
it was
second
not-
shot
it
went
was-
straight
pillar was
through
beating
the
him with it.
text.
What about
Like,
tipping the pillar over?
Went through the text, not through the hitbox.
there we
No,
go.
that's wrong. If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body. But if the pillar had been tipped
Whoops.
over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I briefly considered that too, but it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
There's nothing
no
else to
way I
focus
can let
on.
go.
Yeah.
I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we?
Huh?
There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, the same as usual. You're unable to
Like how all the
clear a
dead
path
people are
to the
around him.
future with your own powers. So you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
There's no way you can go up against Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, and Spider-Man.
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito, what the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a
I mean,
valuable lesson.
he is
Ignorance
just a
is
different
by
kind
far
of
the
lunatic.
greatest shame.
Yeah, now he's talking like a megalomaniac.
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A
Stop being
specific
vague,
item?
just answer. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon. I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory.
You're not really helping your stuff here, bro.
I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
Don't entertain him.
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you?
I mean,
I
you're
forgot.
involved in that too,
Except
so
for
that involves
Hajime, of
teamwork.
course.
You fucking asshole.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
We get it. You have a boner for her.
I shall
Yeah.
leave this matter to your discretion.
The 2 houses are connected to the tower, but
Whoops.
I end up finding proof and completely contradicts that. It's fine. Strange feeling in tower?
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
I have no idea. Sometime
Let me check truth bullets. So, strange feeling in the tower. Regardless of whether you enter the hall, enter the tower from Grape Hall or Strawberry Hall, the placement of Nekomaru's body, the tipped-over pillar, the oil stains, and even the disassembled parts Kazuichi arranged look exactly the same. So right now we're saying that the tower is so that there's 2 different hallways on opposite ends that connect to the same tower. But if that's the case, then if that is the layout, then how come Nekomaru's body and the pillar and everything are in the same spot instead of the opposite spot, depending on which door?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I think I was just looking for where do we present that rather than what the
In
evidence
truth,
is.
Strawberry Tower
Yeah.
and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
Right
No,
there.
that's wrong.
Well, I mean, it's weird to say that they're the exact same
Both of
place.
those towers. Are they
Yeah.
really the same place?
Like
I think, yeah, they are the same
they
place.
are the same.
But
They're just late.
the question is the houses or the hallway that you're in?
Yeah.
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
What?
We'll revisit this plot line later.
Yeah.
Right now.
In Danganronpa 2.5. Wait.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
You could just say The tower rotates, doesn't it?
Probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
You're trying to figure this out with us, you asshole.
No, he's not. He already knows the answer. He's just stringing us along, I think.
Bow down.
Whoa!
Then how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
While we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower? But we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
And the oil stain?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
Nice.
Get it? Because she's a princess?
Yep. Alright, let's do this.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's probably oil on the floor.
Yeah.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Isn't this the part where Monokuma would be like, no.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene?
Allow me to cut through those words.
He used the ShamWow to move the oil.
It would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Yeah. Or to quote Nigahiga, he used the Woohoo! Anybody remember that video?
No.
Oh, it was the best. Ordinary towels would just soak up the liquid, but thanks to the Woohoo, not only do you not soak up the liquid, but you just push it right off the table. That's classic YouTube right there. Good old Ryan Higa.
When the position of Nekomaru's body in the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look.
Oops.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry.
Impossible.
I cannot believe I got so fired up.
Impossible.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either.
I think the houses are the same building.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the e-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
No idea, huh?
Same building, different floors. We don't have enough clues to solve this mystery. The only thing we can do is rely on one person who has the clues.
Or literally knows basically the answer.
Hey, Nagito. I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
You saw me, he's just freaking out.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint. But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly.
You don't need
It's
anything.
also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Is he talking about the trailer? So why did Nagito say that all of a sudden? Did something happen to him?
But how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
Yeah, up, up, down, down, left, right, B8
start. Next. He performed the appropriate action and earned to learn the secret. Can we talk about the final dead room?
Could be talking about tampering with the crime scene. Yeah.
I see.
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
What? Where was... There were no cameras when we were controlling you.
Ugh.
You took a picture?
Yep.
Nagito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket. Oh, no, it's the camera we had.
This is it.
In the, challenge.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That was 6 months ago.
Let me explain it to you again. I took this picture.
There's
on the
only...
first
I was
floor of
right, there's only one tower.
in a secret room within the final dead room.
I mean, we knew there was only one tower.
I mean, one tower, but there's only one entrance going into it.
There's only one entrance going in, yep.
But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Lots of things that shouldn't make sense in this picture.
Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
No,
this isn't Blue's Clues.
Yeah, no, that. Well, no, we do get thinking time just in a later game.
Oh no. What doesn't make sense in this picture? The corridor. The one corridor. It's the tower, right? Okay. There's only one tower in the picture, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the other side.
Here! Yep. If it is what we
This
thought it
cloud-
was, where is the other house?
This cloud looks like a penis.
Yep. Very suspicious. I see. Excellent work, Hajime. That's exactly what I was thinking. I pointed at that cloud and I called Monokuma over and I was like, look at this cloud.
Oh my god, alright, next.
Look at this cloud.
Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle. Which means, if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it. But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
I see. And is that it?
Okay, so the elevator, when it actually rotates 180 degrees, it actually just switches out Grape House with Strawberry House, and vice versa.
Pretty much. There are other contradictions contained in this photo.
What doesn't make sense in this picture? It's made out of bricks? Okay, I don't know.
No. Well, think about it this way. You mentioned multiple floors, right? Well,
yeah.
We seem to be a bit, elevated.
Here! You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
That's right. Good call. In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
Yep, that's correct.
From this point on, do your own thinking.
Nailed
Now
it.
that you finally met the same requirements as me,
I can't believe I never said that as Monokuma before. Nailed it.
It's so stupid.
It fits
Oh
his
my
voice pretty well, though. Anyway.
It does?
if you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student. Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
The other, is he talking about that one time? Hello there.
Hello there.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already?
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
Was that thing just now another hint of figuring out the mystery behind the Pun House's structure? The reason Nagito appeared from the third floor? Using the photo we took, I might be able to find the answer if I just think about it. I don't know. I don't know.
Thinking,
In the
bah.
middle.
All right. Logic dive. 3, 2, 1, go.
I like to think they're all just staring at Hajime as is like the game inside of the game inside his head is just projected on the wall, and they're like, all right, guess we're
They're
doing
just
this
like,
now."
whoa, trippy, dude.
Moving around at the speed of sound.
Moving around at the speed of whoa, crash. Question 1: Do Strawberry House and Grape House both exist?
What? Yeah, I hope so.
You're merely an illusion. Whoa!
Watching up and go. Like
Whoa.
by, like by. You're gonna
Question
be
2:
mine.
Are Strawberry House and Grape House the same building or two different buildings?
They're the same building. Guys, why are we talking with walkie-talkies? We're in the same room. Come on now.
Jeez.
I didn't even see that gap. Good jump.
Thank you.
Woo!
Oh,
By that I mean you suck.
hey, shut up. I didn't see this gap. Our Strawberry House and Grape House positioned with each other.
Vertically.
It's all coming together!
Complete.
Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, wait,
picture
I wonder
Nagito
if
took from
Grape House and Strawberry House weren't
I didn't see
vertically,
Grape
how would
House
that
at all.
elevator reach them?
Well, here's the thing, though. If the elevator rotated 180 degrees, then how is it connecting?
I mean, that's what I'm wondering too. But considering what they thought of how it was structured beforehand, how did they think the building was beforehand?
Just
if it's an
horizontal,
elevator.
so the elevator literally went sideways, like just slid sideways along along the x-axis instead of vertically. Because there are elevators that do that. They're called contact elevators. They're literally just moving you from one position to another.
I was gonna say they're not called. It's not an elevator then, because it's not elevating you anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you're above the ground, I guess.
So where did
I just didn't know they were following Willy Wonka logic in that elevator.
Yeah.
There was only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
What?
So where is Strawberry House located? So Nagito took the picture from Strawberry House.
Then Strawberry House is it below Grape House? No, wait. No, it's above Grape House.
I see.
Yep, because remember it showed the tops of the trees, and it was
That's
like
where
above
Strawberry
them.
House is located.
I don't know exactly how big this building is. It could be on top for all I know.
But we saw a picture taken from the reference point of Strawberry House. So if Strawberry House is overlooking a canopy of trees, it's probably high up.
Okay.
Unless it's like on a hill. And then the tower wouldn't be on a hill. I don't know. It's weird. Architecture.
Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it?
Boom.
Disregarding the tower, we fully believed the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd! Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right!
Oh,
Those
shut
two
up.
houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
You didn't even get the proper permits for it. I just constructing a building like that on your own. Just think of all the safety regulation violations that are going on here. I'm calling OSHA.
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House, Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple. Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
No.
Shut the
Just-
fuck up.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
Ooh.
She gives no shits.
Oh.
Definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me.
And he says that out loud?
Yeah. This is what happens when you have self-esteem issues, kids.
Alright.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
And hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
Oh, fuck out.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
Okay, no.
I'm gonna
The other
solve
bu-
this
switch
mystery in a
bullets.
flash!
Then hurry up,
Switch
dumbass!
bullets?
Bullets. Yeah.
So
No.
what?
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
You mean a fake
What the
body?
hell?
What are you looking
Wait, what are we
died
supposed
with
to
a
use?
mechanical body.
Something involving the body?
It should be
I
possible
guess
to
the
construct
file?
a dummy from spare parts.
You're
That one,
magnificent,
whatever.
Gundam!
Monokuma file number 4. You discovered. Let's see. Your impact. So this menu is from shut down.
Okay, yeah, just use that one on one of his bullet. One of
No
his
fair! You
phrases.
So which one?
Shut up! Just pick one of them! I'm gonna solve it!
Then hurry up!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
No,
Like
that's
you?
wrong.
Yeah, like. He's a dummy like
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
you. No, it can be proven by the strange feeling in the tower.
Yeah,
We don't
well,
have
no.
Kazuichi's account isn't even a truth bullet.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said, right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke.
I don't think that's a joke.
No, I don't think it is either.
You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer.
He's too stupid.
If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be
I mean,
much
he
more
would have if he
convenient
was
for
trying
the
to be-
killer if it
be
stayed
cover.
broken.
Yeah.
I see. That is disappointing.
Damn, I was really hoping he was the killer.
I'm even more disappointed.
Oh.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
An escalator.
Whoa. Well, actually, it could just be stairs.
I wanted to say stairs, but I also wanted to pick something that moves because I would not technically not be wrong there.
Yeah. It's a conveyor belt. A jetpack.
It's an assembly line.
Yes, a rocket-powered floor. It was a
Oh my
hoist.
God.
A winch, perhaps.
Hoist.
Alright. Hangman's Gambit. Unimproved. Whoa.
What happened?
If I press L1, it jumps back and forth to either side of the screen. That's a little weird.
Interesting. Alright, 8 years later, come on. I wish you could just put letters in different spots, like fucking Wheel of Fortune or something. It's such a waste of time.
I did learn how to speed it up though, which is nice. You can actually hold circle on the PS4. Oh, well, this isn't PS4, this is PC, but it's the equivalent of the B button on an Xbox controller.
About an elevator.
You can hold that and it'll speed up.
Nice.
So that was actually a lot faster than it took in previous episodes. So I'm glad I learned that, because this minigame sucks before you learn how to speed things up.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower.
It's the tower itself.
Hey.
Oh wow.
Chinks.
The inside of the tower is
How'd you make
one
me a
big
fucking
elevator,
soda?
Oh yeah. I got one right here.
which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from
It's actually
Strawberry
empty.
Hall
I
or
finished
Grape
it
Hall,
before.
it all leads to the same room, right?
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower?
It's a projection.
And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower.
Because it's confusing.
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right?
Unless you
But when we
enter
entered Strawberry
and
Tower,
the doors
those
are on
chains were
separate
gone.
levels. They're attached to the walls, right? Not the floors.
Attached to the walls instead of the floors.
Not just that.
So if you're in
but
Strawberry
if I remember
Tower and you
correctly,
look,
even
or
the
if you're in
doorknob
Grape
was
Tower
broken
and you look up, you'll see the door to Strawberry House.
They actually said at the very beginning that the tower was so far, it was so tall, you couldn't actually see what was at the top.
I mean, but
So-
anyone could see 4 stories up.
Well, for the sake of argument, you can't. Actually.
In the game logic, you can't.
In the game logic,
Many
you
strange
can't.
things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
That's true, but how is it relevant? In any way?
Yeah, wait, why'd you say that?
Did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
They're all on the floor.
I see! Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
And
And?
why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer. The reason is because that elevator...
Oops.
That's fine. There's no ceiling. Only the floor moves.
Which is it?
It's the bottom one.
I see!
Only the floor moves.
So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was.
Which is what we've been showing in this animation up until this point. Thus spoiling everything.
Hey, it's
That's
not
why we saw
spoiling
different
it.
doors in each tower. Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified.
Psych!
It was actually very effective.
Ah, damn it.
I don't get it.
I keep
But I
bumping my
guess
controller.
It means whoever
I'm like
designed this
fidgeting.
building had a totally twisted personality.
Hi!
Yeah, hello!
Don't blame this
Oh.
on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
What?
Excuse me?
Beg pardon? What?
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way,
That was a
what does
joke?
the chain on the far
I
back
don't know.
door in Grape Tower mean?
That was a
It was-
shitty joke.
Probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right? The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse. The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
In this episode of Danganronpa 2, Kazuichi continues to get screwed over.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so,
No.
how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
It's just a normal elevator. See, now.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But
Oh, it rotates them.
does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator.
Design is kind of
Which
ingenious.
means the
Yeah.
houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
What does this mean?
Can we just present the compass thing already?
Yeah.
Keep her going. Keep her going. We know. We know. Oh my god.
It's all right. We know the answer.
If the two houses are connected vertically,
It's
The elevator should move.
Kazuichi's account.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Objection.
Which means your
Hang on.
reasoning...
Or not.
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
Ugh, that face. Let's see. So let's check. So just to be sure, Kazuichi's account. Spun 180 degrees.
Bingo.
All right.
If the two houses are
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
No, that's wrong.
Wait, where did the sound effect go?
Sound effects?
Yeah.
What the hell?
No, that's
The
wrong.
elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Me?
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees.
As well as I love the camera flip.
Yeah, I was like,
That
light
was
the camera
great.
just now.
Yeah.
It was probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side. Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
Dun, 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 dun.
Elevator that rotates while
Dun,
it
dun,
moves.
dun, dun.
Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
This is Dragnet.
Well, a fun
Realize
house
what we're in.
is an amusement park attraction, you know.
Ooh.
And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid
Do we
at all.
look like we're having
You're
fun?
inhuman.
He's inhuman.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with.
No, he has a point.
I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with
I
the secret of
reject
the
my
funhouse,
humanity,
right?
Jojo.
Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now. As long as you know what an Octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
I think it's a 10-sided shape,
An octagon
actually.
is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I didn't expect you to know that. For
Wow.
a substitute reserve course student,
Wow.
quite knowledgeable. I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
In Washington, D.C. now.
Ah, wait, no. Hang on. It's probably...
I'm sorry, what? Grape what the fuck? Wait, what's happening?
You want me? You want me to just get this one for you?
Just do it. Just do it.
In between the square and the...
You're talking about the
between the
secret room
hexagon
surrounded by
and the
concrete in the depths of the final dead
rectangle.
room.
It's weird.
Why is that place the
Yeah.
Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons,
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the Funhouse, which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the Funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
I mean, no.
No. I mean, like, unless the building is like, well, okay, I guess that one room is chock full of, like, guns and weapons and stuff, but, like... So wait, so you went from saying... I see. So the killer lifted up the entire funhouse and hit Nekomaru with it. I see.
Hey, Kazuichi hasn't given his testimony yet. Calm down.
Whoa.
Oh.
To be continued.
Hiya!
Why, hello there! I thought of a new bad word to call Monami. I can already tell that I won't be pleased by this. Then let me say it right away. I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Monami is a serious Stu-Fatly. That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stu-Fatly, huh? That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack. Incorporating all three of these would be... Ta-da! Stu-Fatly. What? There's a fat hidden in there?
Okay, everyone. All together now.
I don't
Monami
Someone's
is
the most
a
obvious.
serious Stu-Fatly.
Nah, we didn't need to save that.
Hello. I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up.
Mood.
My heart's thumping like crazy.
Like it kind of is a mood.
I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons.
That's fine. We're playing on a desktop computer, not a PS Vita. This is where I was thinking. This is what I knew about this. I just didn't remember where exactly it was. So obviously, this game was originally released on a portable console. So you don't want your batteries to run out. Well, fortunately, that's not a problem.
And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
No, you say don't forget to save regularly. Also, did we do Clash Trial Resume, or?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, but it was before Monami's spiel.
Yes.
It's weird.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I can't believe this. Anyway.
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Nekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
Yeah, you would.
What happened to the bastard
I
that
do.
kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
Yeah.
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine.
You mean...
Let's just leave him alone and find out
What?
who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know.
The one who constantly
it's not
talks
like I'm
about
getting
death
hungry
wouldn't
or
kill
anything,
anybody?
You know?
Yes, of course not.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
What the fuck is wrong with that guy?
Anyway, if the killer used the building's structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed
Physics.
Nekomaru.
Physics.
It might be better
He-
if we clarify the cause of death first.
Did he
don't
fall?
You think?
He fell on top of the pillar, didn't he? Okay, no answer. I'm probably right.
Shh, don't worry about it. Shut up. You. Shut up.
I mean, it makes sense. Building structure, falling, giant stone pillar.
I see.
You're actually quite good at this.
Okay.
That's it?
Occasionally there's moments like where you get tripped up, but like as far as actually figuring out like a lot of the clues are a little obtuse, but like as far as understanding the basic concepts of this is how X happened, like you're actually really good at this.
Oh, thank you.
like no, seriously, I have like at least a couple times I have had to be like at least slightly misleading to try and like not have you guess the entire freaking case a couple times in both Danganronpa 1 and Danganronpa 2. Mostly Danganronpa 1. You got a lot of that game, at least if I remember. God, that was so long ago. But yeah, I tend to be a little bit obtuse. I do my best not to outright lie, because I don't think that's entirely fair. But I am occasionally like, oh, but well, what about this other thing? Or like, I bring up other side points. And sometimes they're legitimate, like, oh yeah, no, actually, that doesn't quite make sense. This could have happened this other way. But sometimes I do it because you're finding out a little too much too quickly. No, honestly, you're pretty good at this.
I like crimes, okay?
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Remind me to stay away from you in person.
Wording. Phrasing.
All right.
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected,
We're nasty crime boys.
then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the
Heyo.
elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
No.
But my God is going crazy right now.
No, you. Ah!
Where did he shove the body from? Okay. Are we assuming the door was... Are we just going to assume the door was closed, or... I mean, the button was broken, so the door could have been opened and when he fell, then the killer closed it manually.
Possibly, though. Remember, the doors slide sideways, which is contradictory to how the handles work. Remember, the handles are totally fake. The doors they're sliding doors, like actual elevator doors.
Oh,
The handles are literally just for show.
This house sucks.
Yeah. Funhouse does suck.
I have no idea. You can do this.
All right.
Against
When the elevator is on the
Jesus,
first
we're getting a
floor.
lot of use out of that bullet.
You can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on. Did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other
Sleep
door
button,
won't
sleep
open.
button.
Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor,
You can't go through the door.
It'd be impossible.
Then, after locking they moved the and made use of the.
Hold on. Did you forget the... As long as there's a moving object...
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
That sensor
Yeah, that's
should only
satisfying.
work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
That's what I was about
But
to
he was
explain
tied to something.
before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Kazuichi interrupted.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
I mean, you always have been. I mean, what? No, I'm sorry. I know a couple of the people in the comments really like Kazuichi because they say he's relatable, which, I mean, that's fair enough, but also, like, you know, I can understand it. It's the struggle. That's what Kazuichi is. He's the eternal struggle. Just why doesn't anyone love me? I understand the struggle very well.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
What? Fuck
Isn't
out.
it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about
No.
the oil on the floor?
The doorknob
Where'd
on
these
the
come
floor
from? These have
seems
nothing to do with
suspicious.
it.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't be so cold. What if I start to enjoy it?
Whoa, no.
No.
Oh, no.
No, we don't need the subplot of Kazuichi turning into a sub.
Yeah.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
Yeah, I was like, where do we use it?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems
I agree with that.
The doorknob had scrape marks that looked like they were made by a
Didn't the
metal
doorknob
wire.
have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
So the question was, how do we create a difference in elevation when if you put Nekomaru in the elevator and move it down, he would just travel with the elevator down. There wouldn't be a height difference.
I figured he was I figured he was hanging from something because he was tied up, but I just didn't know what from. Because
Gotcha.
I was just assuming the wire was going up to the ceiling. I was like, wait, what ceiling?
Ah, okay.
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair!
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor.
Okay,
With
so
that,
here's what I'm
he moved
thinking,
the
though.
elevator from the 4th
Would that
floor
fall
to the
be
first
enough
floor
to
of
kill
Grade
him?
Tower.
I mean,
so
it's a 3-story drop.
I know, but let's say, but he's a robot. So let's say like
True.
he's hanging from a door that's on the 4th floor, and the wire, let's say, would probably have enough slack to hold him. Probably be like not even like maybe more than half a story. So if he's falling from like say the 3rd floor all the way to the 1st floor, and he's a friggin' Terminator, I don't think that would be enough to kill him. Unless he hit the pillar at the exact right angle where his head can't clean off.
I mean, if he hit his head, that would be damaging.
Yeah.
So.
And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
So kind of like that, basically. I see what you mean. Yeah. So though he is upside down.
That's right.
Okay.
He was so well hung.
Don't say it
Kinda
like that. Don't say phrasing.
You better finish that sentence.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so
I was thinking he
Nekomaru
was
could
hanging
fall
from
to
his
death.
back, not from his foot. Interesting. Okay.
Too easy. So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
The doorknob broke.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wall, how would they make him
Like,
fall?
what the fuck?
no
It
one
broke.
in power to push-
It
there's
broke
no
because he's
way
a
they could
robot.
do
It's a
that.
dinky ass fake doorknob holding up a giant robot.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right? If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that. Now's the time if you want to take back that. But in that case, you still won't be able to explain moving the elevator with Nekomaru inside is just impossible. End of story.
So if he was in sleep mode, then he wouldn't be moving at all. So there would be nothing like, I mean, you could say that like the doorknob just eventually broke, but
Yeah. Why wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, if it could hang him there for that long, like to move the elevator and stuff, I don't know. Basically, what Kazuichi's saying is he doesn't think that the doorknob just went ahead and broke on its own. He's saying if Nekomaru... think about it this way. Let's turn our thinking around here.
The screws came out, right?
Yeah, so like the screws
you
popped
could've
out
loosened the
with...
screws.
Yeah, so, but...
Yes.
But we don't have any evidence that talks exactly about the screws. So, to put it another way, if Nekomaru was asleep, he wouldn't do anything that would cause the doorknob to break. So, what would wake him up?
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right? If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that. Now, you still won't be able to. Moving the elevator with it's just impossible. End of story. What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode.
Allow me to cut through those words.
There we go. Cut through those words.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
Actually, they were closer to the middle.
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
So earlier, Nekomaru was trying to open the door and ended up loosening that doorknob.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Oh, no.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey! Why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy, he gets off on this.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Cola came out of his eye.
I was like, wait, what's that say?
That's what happened, right?
Crap!
We have 18 seconds. Come on.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
Yes!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Gravity plus the pillar
Well,
was the
the
weapon.
pillar was a
Physics!
Yeah.
It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. 'Cause even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So, they couldn't have messed with Nekomaru's clock because it's extremely accurate.
And can't be
Could they,
changed on top of that.
Could they have fucked with the clocks in the tower? Or in the houses?
Let's see.
We headed for Grape Tower.
So let's see. So we have wall clock at 5:30 a.m. The alarm of the wall clock went off. Cannot be tampered with, not even to set the time.
Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Objection.
No, that's wrong.
No, you're stupid.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
No, I was lying. I didn't do anything. Fuck you. Yeah.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
Come at me, bitch. I'll take you any day. Shouldn't doubt the testimonies. We should doubt the clock.
What's going on here? So what clock was messed with? Unless they were already screwed up beforehand.
Plunge dive. I can tell what minigame it's going to be ahead of time just from the music.
Oh, I bet. Woohoo!
Oh. Input lag.
Yeah, okay.
What?
A little too early.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that one. Jump. Okay, there we go.
Why does this remind me of the Buzz Lightyear Star Command game for some reason?
Kind of reminds me of Tempest. What time did Hajime and the others misunderstand? Time of the building, who the killer is, where the murder happened.
Time in the building. Okay, I got so scared there for a second.
Oh boy. Oh!
What? Okay, that was some
that?
Wizard of Oz. That was some Wizard of Oz SNES bullshit.
Yeah. What were they thinking?
They were thinking.
Oh.
Okay, I thought it was gonna happen again there.
Yeah, well, me too. Alright, which clock was tampered with? The building's clocks, Nekomaru's radio clock, both.
Blue. Blue. It had to be.
True blue, baby. Fuck. I was like, oh no. Question 3. Which house had the wrong time? Strawberry house, grape house, both houses.
Both houses.
It's all coming together.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased.
Yes, yeah, that's
More
pretty impressive that he could change
how
all the
much was
clocks
the
to be
time on?
exactly the same time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe
Without,
they don't
like,
have second hands, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because in theory, if you were counting the seconds as you were walking to and from location, you could theoretically sync them up fairly closely.
Yes. But that, yeah, fairly closely.
And
But
remember,
that's
Fuyuhiko was also moving to... There was also time in between when Fuyuhiko was checking each of the clocks, so that would also kind of mask any inaccuracies. You know, because it could be 7:31 when he visited one clock, and then 7:33 when he visited another, so a 1 minute gap wouldn't be super noticeable.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say the human error was because Fuyuhiko was doing it.
Oh, wow. Fuyuhiko doesn't know how to tell time!
If the time in the building was all messed up,
Let's see, we have a
then we
Kane's
can only
account.
rely on that.
What's a Kane's account? Kinda heard a rumbling noise at around 5:30 a.m.
Okay, that's good enough. Oh, that must have been the elevator.
It's clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any
Doc,
clues that
Doc.
can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
I agree with that.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
So, 2 hours.
I see!
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30,
He must have been in Mountain Standard Time. Wait, no.
that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they could lure out just Nekomaru. If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Is there ever a murder in these games that wasn't stupid elaborate? Like someone just stabbed someone in the room and left? There wasn't like any plan or like evidence hiding or anything.
No, not really.
And then like
it wouldn't be a very good murder, because you know the whole point is you're supposed to get away with it, so it kind of behooves you to make it stupid complicated.
That's the thing, though. The murder would just be make it so simple that everyone would think it's complicated, and so they would go to the wrong person. Thus, the actual murderer would get away scot-free.
Reverse psychology, I like it, but unfortunately, no, that never happens. I don't think a single game in this series ever has a simple murder investigation. Just, how it was this person. Case closed.
How refreshing would that be, though?
That would be pretty nice, but also like you'd have to, from a game design perspective and a story perspective, you would really need to like. You would really need to do a lot of fancy writing to make it seem good.
I have an idea. Wait, what?
Oh, interesting. We don't have Monokuma Tai Chi. Monokuma Tai Chi was at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I see.
Massage time. I just read the second in.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that
was
time
7.
was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi.
That's pretty much it. Case closed. Nekomaru was the murderer. Wait, no.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Damn it!
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
Everyone ditched Monokuma Tai Chi.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez! That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot, or something like that.
You put your foot in your mouth?
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not
Is that a
it.
Superman Returns
It's
reference?
I don't know.
Wrong!
That's the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru,
I don't even like peanuts.
the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
I have no idea. It's been so long. I have no idea. Shit, what? It's been way too long.
You're the only one!
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
Yeah, god damn it.
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the week.
Not only did I
Is he gonna
not
say his
hear
door
the
was
alarm,
stuck?
I never even heard that rumbling sound.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too. I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
They're all pasty as fuck.
I mean, yes, but also no. Hangman's Gambit.
Strawberry House?
Ah, right.
We're all deaf. We all ate at delis. We're all dyslexic. Oh, the rooms. Okay, now I remember. We haven't talked about the rooms in a long time.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just focusing on getting those cool, like, letter combos. Whew. No collisions, baby. That is not easy. See, when it's fast-paced, it's like kind of fun, but also
right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are
soundproof.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are
Would you
using
shut
your
up?
Ultimate Reserve Corps student
You're
talent?
worse than Makoto in just one chapter.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec! Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
All right. So
I have no idea. Pause.
If the person, I can't.
Can we pause? Fuck.
Okay, I can do that. Okay. I can bring up the help menu. Thank God. So if the two people in Grape House where we were staying couldn't hear the rumbling sound, then because they were both in deluxe rooms, there were two people in Strawberry House who were staying in deluxe rooms as well. But only one person didn't hear anything.
Oh, shit. Wait, so who else was staying in the deluxe room? Okay. Never mind. It's been so long, I have no idea. I don't remember.
That's why I'm doing it for you, my friend.
No.
Yes.
Is your heart breaking right now?
Yes,
Something I want to ask.
it is.
Oh, no.
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that
Bullshit.
your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I mean, that's actually a fair point.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Not wrong.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
This sounds like insubordination.
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce.
Well, how about it's just a fuck you?
Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers.
Oh, good. Hopefully you'll die from them.
Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
No, please, drag it on longer.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What?
I've been having
What
kidney
actually
stones
happened?
this whole time, so I've
Did
been
you
very pissed
discover
off.
something?
Oh, I don't think you can piss at all, my friend.
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
You said opening act again!
No.
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor
Confession.
descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Dun 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 dun.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Yeah,
As long as that
true.
elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was... broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
Wait.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
No.
Or if there was a
Wait,
secret passageway.
How much longer
That's
do you
it.
plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Yeah, I was gonna. Wait, didn't he clear the final dead room? And then when Nagito did that, he appeared out of nowhere?
Nagito appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. So.
That
But you would have to
elevator
clear
was
the final dead room to
the
learn
only means of
exactly
travel
how
between
the building is.
No, that's wrong.
So,
So what
Gundam
that
did it
means
first.
is Gundam did
Gundam-
it too.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito!
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right? There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up.
Would you let it go already?
But you're right.
Why do you
There's a
care
door
about that
before
so
the
much?
God, just
Which is
shut
on the first
fuck
floor
up.
of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down. Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
Oh, snap.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
What?
No, that's my skill. You
However,
gave it to
what if
me.
the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry! You wouldn't like me when I'm angry!
Oh, he said the thing.
Said
By
the
that
thing,
one
guys.
famous superhero. What was his name? Moon Knight?
I don't know. the Incredible Shulk.
The Amazing Bulk.
Yeah, yeah, Incredible Shulk. Now it's Rhine time. Let's see, pillar fragments, tipped over pillar, good night button.
I have no idea.
Video clock, alarm timer, pillar fragments. Good night button. I don't know.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Providing the evidence that the killer went to the Octagon, which dwells in the light.
No!
The Wire?
Oh!
Yeah, it's a weapon.
You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood...
Allow me to cut through those words. The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body.
I wonder if the chain would have worked as well. Now that I think
Good
about
question.
it, I'm not sure.
The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower.
Oh, okay. So we could have used any of them.
Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can
Santa.
think of is the Octagon.
Of course. Santa's the killer. I knew it all along.
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
Wow. Wow. Way to make fun of my my favorite minigame.
But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what do you...
First of all, by messing
My
with all
summer's
the
gonna
clocks
be
in the
even
building,
longer.
Gundam tried
It's
to
playing the
lure
music.
only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able
It's
to go to Grape
auto-advancing, by the
Tower,
way.
which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry
Turn on the
Tower.
light.
But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan,
I-
they wouldn't have been able to lure him
stepped-
at all.
I stepped on a wire and he fell.
Yeah, oh no.
I'm
You're a
going to
bubbling
continue
idiot.
summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam
Oh my
successfully
God.
lured
Music's
Nekomaru to
back.
Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting it.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It's exactly what he says.
You've just proved this point.
I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
Phrasing.
You should probably see a doctor about that.
Yeah, I was gonna phrase. Yeah, that's a medical condition, all right? There's things that can help with that, all right?
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
Jojo.
Nah.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
All right, Gundam, time for the mini game.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire!
Oh my lord.
Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver!
Just murder!
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
The 4 Dark Davis.
Ah! Too late.
You fool.
Show me the
I was waiting for you to get it. I knew what it was.
You weakling! This pressure.
You can kind of, once you have an upgraded focus, you can kind of just cheese this game.
It's
The
Nekomaru's
4
back.
Dark
Do you really think I can
Davis.
get this is the end!
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
That's exactly what
Of
I'm
course it'd be
saying.
impossible
I'm
for a normal
sorry.
hamster, but it would have
Yeah.
been possible for Gundam.
Listen, they're not just any hamsters. They're the 4 Dark Davis of destruction.
In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Yeah, look. See, look, it's even plot relevant. Look, he pushed a button earlier, thus proving that they are capable of doing so. It pressed the button.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are.
Oh, shut
I
up.
have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
Closing arguments.
Oh, Jesus. Alright. I have no idea what some of those is. I guess that one, yeah? No. Yeah, the, Tingling Midairs, that one, yeah. No, not the other one from before. To the right.
No, it's dangling in midair.
I guess so.
What? Gathered at the lounge. Okay, so that's not it.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm pretty
so
sure the doorknob's at the very end there.
Yeah, doorknob here.
Yeah, right there.
Alright, stock 2.
I don't even know what the hammer is for.
Yeah.
Broken button. Beginning.
Yeah.
Doorknob again? Right there? Hell yeah. Yeah. Or not.
Whoop. Ah, here we go.
This is complicated. The hamster.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Nice.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours.
2 hours later.
Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's
this
alarm
have to be auto?
5:30 a.m.
Like for I don't know, for
After
like
finishing their
smoothness,
preparations,
I do that.
The killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter
I feel like
once
there's
you
a
clear the
solid
final
like
deck.
8 seconds between each phrase.
All right.
This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Great Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Great Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful.
Found that he was lying on the floor. Damn it!
And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Dun, dun, dun. Nah, it was Kazuichi. Oh, okay.
Ah, damn.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
And like that.
B.
I expected better from you, James. I really did.
I actually think I should have gotten a better score than that. I did really well.
Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote.
Follow the lever,
Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever. Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
I have never talked like that after I bit my tongue.
Yeah, me
never.
neither. Your tongue doesn't, like, instantly swell up.
It doesn't go numb.
Yeah. Ugh, it'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results. Ouch! Ow! Ow! Damn it!
Luga will collect once again.
Hey, slow down
like
there.
Street Fighter 1. He's talking like Street Fighter 1.
You slow down there, Sylvester Stallone.
Nah.
You guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right. The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Mr. Tanaka, I will bill you for all the robot parts, since he was only a robot for exactly 3 hours.
Yeah! Yay! I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with.
Hold on. Sure, the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over.
I know there's gonna be more class trials.
What?
Sorry, spoilers.
We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Bro, we're only on chapter 4. Do you really think the game ends this early? Jeez.
Oh my god.
Jeez. No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves, or in this case, dies. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well.
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing.
Correct.
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That is, however, a great mistake.
Oy, oy, oy.
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will
If
of
he was just
causality.
trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain! Fine then. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse. And I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another.
I will never be just a memory cloud.
Yes. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent, and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down.
We fought with the staring contest.
Yes, and he lost, despite being a robot. I have no idea how that happened. Perhaps he let me win. I am not quite sure. Anyway, in that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you this.
He was serious, too. He gave it his all to try to kill me.
What?
If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself. I
I can see it!
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Wait, what? Is he saying that he tried to commit suicide by having Nekomaru kill him?
I don't know if that's what he's trying. I don't know. Maybe he planned for either eventuality. But no, he would like. No, this was clearly like a premeditated thing he was planning.
Yeah.
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Why did you fight? We were all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong.
I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you this.
However, I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation.
Fall, my tears.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by the feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life. That's just an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog?
Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well!
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this world.
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy toward life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying all that to try to justify what you did? But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime.
You...
Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well,
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that you're freaking nuts, man. Well, it's also because...
You didn't realize that earlier when you first met me? Good God, man, you're slow.
Well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? Yep, that's exactly what he did.
I can't believe you'd ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka!
Just who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in
Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible.
Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that.
Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Yay, got it. I have prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
wait!
Please wait, this is just too much. Don't kill him with the giant hamster. Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Huh?
Huh? Miss Sonia?
I beg of you!
Please, I beg of you. Did they?
How pitiful.
Sonia.
Did they?
An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself.
Gundam. Oh my god, she actually liked him.
Oh yeah, she did. She freaking loved the guy. Like, she has been for, like, at least a couple chapters.
Did I miss that, or has it really been that long?
It's really been that long. Anyway, confusion aside, it's fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind. However...
What is it, my four dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why,
Sonia
until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
There's chewing the scenery, and then there's chewing the mic.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
No! Where the hell am I? No. You already said that.
Yeah.
Even after Gundam was gone, the spirit of his parting words still lingered deep in our chests. Can someone find the freaking hamsters already? Jesus!
Yeah.
Don't give up on life.
Well, there goes half of the characters I voice.
Yeah, wait. Who do we have left here?
Well, actually, we technically
have
an almost even amount, but also some of them don't like show up very often. Because I have Akane, Nagito, Monami, Monokuma, and you have Hajime, Fuyuhiko, Chiaki, Kazuichi, and Sonya.
You have 4. I have 5 now.
Yeah, but like Monami and Monokuma only show up at certain times, so like. You effectively have twice as many people as me.
No! What's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that.
Damn it.
Damn it. I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something.
Damn it!
You all spent so much time worrying about each other. Thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of shit. Every last one of you. The biggest piece of shit is me.
The worst.
Damn it. Why am I so weak?
Someone give her a fucking hug already. Jesus.
Yeah. You're not you when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
Such a downer, clearly. But still. Even though we feel the same way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us. You're right. You're right. We shouldn't just stand here. We have to go. I mean, it's not like this is over. We still have to do it.
Gotta do it.
We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. So, don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. Can't allow that.
Hey!
Yeah, that was a good speech.
So, how long are you guys gonna stand around chattering? The class trial's over, so it's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait!
Hold on! How much longer are you gonna keep doing this? Forever!
No. Seriously, how long is he gonna keep doing this? How long is this gonna continue?
Now then.
Alright. After feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey!
Hold on a sec, that mood shift is too damn fast.
Too bad.
It's not like that.
Well, you know, it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live, right?
Again, give her a hug.
Yeah, she needs a hug.
She's certainly something else.
But seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
And let's go back for now and eat. And after we're full, let's just sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then let's do our best again. You know, killing each other.
Yep. We're gonna do our best.
With this, the class trial has come to an end, and once again we have returned to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished. Despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial. At that moment, we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Nagito?
Yup. I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way that file had just Hajime's information.
Well,
I guess they were too busy with other matters. Or maybe they've reached their limit.
There's he found out the traitor was himself.
Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
Damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all. Even if it costs me my life.
It's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appears!
All right, Monokuma has arrived. Who summoned me?
Now then.
Thanks for coming.
What's this?
Why, it's the lonely little Nagito. Are you all alone tonight, too?
What's the matter?
So what's up? Your face looks scary. I see. So you can tell. Ah, perhaps you found out who the traitor is. You know me well.
Wow.
Is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately I haven't learned that yet. I see. So even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown is gonna take a little more time.
No!
Hello.
So, why'd you summon me anyway? Were you finally gonna confess your love?
Hey.
Yes.
I summoned you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's
Do you
about...
like me?
Yes, I do. No, actually, I think you're a crazy psycho. I want nothing to do with you. Listen, I'm a murdering psychopath, but I fear no man. But that thing, it scares me.
Yeah, quite frankly, I'm surprised I haven't been killed myself.
Yeah, I was really suggesting that I mean, what? Anyway, it's about the special prize from the final dead room. Oh, yeah. What about it? There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
You don't even know?
Well, there's a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
But this file contains documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy, right?
Of course!
That's right! I just reused the stuff that the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
But...
if this file even contains information about the traitor, was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
Can you tell I haven't done this in a while? I wonder.
Hey.
Could it be... Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Were you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? What's wrong with that? If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
Well...
That's not my point.
Right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is. What's wrong with that?
You're getting all riled up!
Well, you're splendidly correct when you say I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like Monami after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Their existence means nothing, huh?
No.
Well, that's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different. After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff. That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know?
Huh?
Cooperation?
Hey,
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
Yep. If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too.
right?
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is. I see. Interesting. Very interesting.
No.
Obviously, that's a big no-no.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you, too.
Well,
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I knew you would say that. Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on. Just as you thought, you saw right through me.
Just as I thought.
Yeah. No matter what situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepladders such as myself and despair exist. You're right. You're a true believer of hope after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of that person for some reason.
huh?
Reminds you? I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky. But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this.
Well,
Am I? I actually think I'm very lucky.
Say what?
Huh?
you don't know?
Wouldn't you say that coming across this much despair is a rather rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called ultimate hope. The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him.
Hey,
There's one more thing I want to ask you.
see?
Who are you waiting for on this island? Huh? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is the person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey,
Well, answer my question.
That's...
If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting?
Oh my gosh. Oh no, it's a subspace bomb!
5 days. 11 hours, 13 minutes remaining. Chapter 4, Do Ultimate Robots, Stream of Clockwork.
I forgot about that Blade Runner reference.
Yep.
No. And James Bond.
To be continued.
And with that, we'll see you next time. Oh god, no!
Ah! We obtained the Hellhound earring.
Alright, see you later, everybody.